So let's talk about something fascinating, a 90-day plan for crypto. The whole idea is to bring some kind of system to a market that, let's be honest, is pure chaos for most people. We're going to break down the system it proposes.
You look at the world of crypto, and it's just wild, right? It's this strange, exciting new frontier of money. But let's be real. For every success story, there are a ton of people who get burned. It's a place full of incredible opportunity, but also traps that are just waiting to catch you off guard.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How can a market that's famous for making millionaires also be a place where the vast majority of people, well, lose money? According to the material we're looking at today, the answer isn't about being unlucky, it's about not having a system.
All right, so let's dive into the first big idea, what the source material calls the investing paradox. The whole concept here is that we're basically stuck between two completely different financial worlds, and you've got to understand that first. So on one side, you've got the system we all grew up with, traditional finance, and the argument here is that it's all about governments printing tons of money, inflation eating away at your savings, and banks giving you what, 1 or 2% a year if you're lucky? Then, on the other side, you've got this new digital system. It's built on tech, on transparency. It has built-in scarcity, like Bitcoin only ever having 21 million coins. And the big one, you actually own your assets, 100%.
And this is where it gets really eye-opening. This is the cost of just sitting on the sidelines. The course points out that if you just left 10 grand in the bank 4 years ago, inflation has silently stolen over 18% of its buying power. Think about that. Their whole point is that doing nothing is now a really, really expensive choice.
And this really gets to the heart of why so many people struggle. The course argues it's not about the market being against you. It's about these common, classic mistakes. Blindly following signals from some guru on the internet, making trades based on fear or FOMO, letting your cash just sit there doing nothing, and the biggest one of all, just not having a plan. A real, repeatable plan.
Okay, so with all those mistakes in mind, we get to the core problem. Why do most investors lose? And again, the argument isn't that they're unlucky, it's that they're winging it. There's just no structure.
And here's the proposed fix, a framework they call the Strategic Crypto Investment Map. You can really see the difference here, right? It's about going from this chaotic, emotional, impulsive way of investing to having a clear, structured system. Your decisions are based on data and a strategy, not just hype. Your portfolio starts to look balanced and strategic, not just a random collection of coins. And the goal? To get results that are measurable and sustainable, not just a lucky guess.
Which brings us to a really important idea. This is about building a system, not just chasing signals. The whole philosophy is to stop jumping from one hot tip to the next and actually build something solid that you can depend on, no matter what the market is doing. And this system they propose is built around this acronym, MEAT. It stands for Mindset, Strategy, Action, and Time. But here's the part I find really interesting. Look what's first. Mindset. Before you even think about which coin to buy, the focus is all on your psychology. How do you react when the market tanks? How do you manage your own risk? That comes before everything else.
Yeah, this quote really nails it. The real investment isn't in crypto, it's in your mindset. The whole idea is that your portfolio is just a mirror. It reflects your discipline, your patience, your emotional control. If you don't work on yourself, your investments are never going to grow.
Okay, so once you've got that mindset piece locked in, we can move on to the actual strategies. And the course lays out 2 really powerful but simple strategies to get started with. These are perfect for beginners. First up is a total classic, dollar cost averaging, or DCA. The beauty of this is its simplicity. You just decide on a fixed amount of money, let's say $100, and you invest it every week or every month, like clockwork. You don't care if the price is up or down, you just do it. It completely takes emotion and the impossible game of timing the market out of the equation. And you can see exactly how it works right here. It's pretty clever. When the price is low, your $100 buys you more of the coin. When the price shoots up, that same $100 buys you less. But over time, what happens is your average purchase price gets smoothed out. It protects you from that nightmare scenario of dumping all your money in right at the very top. In this example, your average cost is less than $41, even though you were buying at prices as high as $75. All right, the second strategy is what they call strategic holding. Now, this isn't just buy and hope. This is about doing your homework. You find assets that have real strong fundamentals, a solid purpose, a great team behind it, a real community, and you hold onto those with conviction for the long haul. So you can think of it like this. DCA is how you accumulate assets, and strategic holding is about choosing which assets to accumulate.
So these strategies are great, right? But they're completely worthless if you get hacked and lose everything. And that brings us to something absolutely critical: protecting your capital. The course is super clear on this. Security isn't something you think about later, it's step 0.
And these 5 principles are presented as totally non-negotiable. First, turn on two-factor authentication on everything. Use different, strong passwords for every single platform. Third, and this is a big one, never, ever, ever share your seed phrase with anyone. Fourth, keep your funds separate. Use an exchange for your active trading, but move your long-term investments to your own private wallet. And finally, you've got to learn how to spot those fake links and phishing scams. They're everywhere.
And that brings up the difference between hot and cold wallets. Think of it this way. A hot wallet is online. It's convenient. It's fast. It's great for when you're actively trading. But because it's online, it's more exposed to risk. A cold wallet, on the other hand, is a physical device that's completely offline. It's the Fort Knox for your crypto. Maximum security, but obviously less convenient for quick trades. The advice here is to use both, for the right reasons. All right, so we've covered mindset, we've talked strategy, we've gone over security, which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the 90-day promise. This is where the program really lays out what it's all about.
And here's the big promise. The tangible goal of this whole system is to help you build a portfolio that can consistently generate a 5 to 10% return every single month. I mean, that's a bold claim, but it's positioned as the natural outcome of actually following the system with discipline.
So they're not just selling a bunch of videos here. The idea is that this is a whole integrated system. You get live coaching, real support from actual people, a community to talk with, and strategies they say have been tested with thousands of students. The big sell is that it's ongoing support, not just a one-and-done course.
But this is what really stands out, the guarantee. They actually put it in a contract. They say that if you follow their system for 90 days and your portfolio isn't hitting that 5 to 10% monthly target, they will stick with you for free until you do. That's a pretty powerful way to show they believe in what they're teaching.
And so, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one big question. Is a disciplined system like this the real key to figuring out the crypto world? Or is the market just too wild, too unpredictable to ever truly be tamed by a plan? That's really the core idea to chew on.